Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. This is my Let's Play series where I am walking to the Far Lands. I'm out of wood, apparently, and I'm doing so for Child's Play charity. So please go to farlandsorbust.com, and you can see where we're at in terms of our goal of reaching $8,200, and you can contribute yourself. So check that out. It would be much, much appreciated. But we're going to abandon this hidey hole, as per usual. We're going to watch out for creepers, because we know how the last episode started. Jeez. Let's secure this area. There we go. Let me put a torch on the outside. It's always fun to put the torches on the outside, because you might be able to see it from mapping software if I ever release another map. But also, if I ever release another download of this world to you guys, it would make it easier for you guys to find the hidey holes, to follow along on my adventure. But yes, it's just a little bit of an update. I'm still playing in 1.6.6 because it's still Wednesday night for me, just like it was in the last episode. So I apologize for not getting out a 1.7 update, but like I said, the pistons, which is the main thing that was added, are not of much interest to me, to be honest. So what I'm really looking forward to is the 1.8 update, where I might find some more interesting terrain and the adventure update and whatnot. Oh, there we go. Guess I should get some more pigs for good measure. I'm also curious how the sort of when they make a change to the terrain generation, how that affects a world seed. Because obviously I'm traveling along in this world that pretty much, it's not predetermined, but it's in following the seed layout. It's generating as the exact same seed would generate. So I wonder what happens when, say, an update that comes out, like 1.8, where it's going to include much different terrain, he says. How that affects the seed. It's kind of hard to explain what my question is, but if I'm walking forward and this mountain is generating in front of me, would the mountain have generated differently if I were in 1.8? Or, yeah, in 1.8. So that's very interesting kind of technical questions I have. I'm sure I wouldn't understand the answers, to be honest, but it's kind of the cool thing about Minecraft and the whole random generation thing that I'm interested in. But yes. Oh, and I did, thank you for reminding me, I did check what my save file size is, and I actually underestimated the last time. It's actually 411 megabytes is what we're at right before I started this. And right before we come to the floating islands of something. I'm running out of whoa, there's a lot of floaty weird stuff. Whoa! It's kind of cool. It's like a target. Oh my god, Wolfie! Jeez Louise. You psychotic dog, you. Oh, Lord. He almost pushed me off the edge. I've had enough scares at the beginning of these episodes every now and again. Wow, this is kind of cool. It's weird. It's just big and flat and devoid of any shrubberies, of any foliage, if you will. Yes, I know it's pronounced foliage. People are running to the comments. It's not pronounced that. It's pronounced foliage. I know. I can go to the library and figure these things out myself. Troll face. So, so this is very interesting. But what was I talking about? Who cares? So yes, I'm not sure when this episode's going to come out, but at the end of the last episode, I was mentioning how July 8th is the set date for the final space shuttle launch of Atlantis, STS-135, and I'm still debating on whether or not I'm going to go. It's on a varying number of factors, really. Like I said, I've never seen a space shuttle launch up close, live like that, and being such the huge space nerd, that would be pretty excellent. Obviously, I really wanted to get into the NASA tweet-up, the official NASA tweet-up, which gives you a view from the press site, which is 3 miles away from the launch pad, which is as close as you can get as a member of the public. And that at that point you really feel the vibrations and the noise, and absolutely excellent, I'm sure, from that distance. But I don't even have tickets for the public causeway, which is 6 miles away, which is even the closest place you can get without getting a special pass or invite to the press area from NASA. So I'd have to view from some public areas. There's beaches around, and there's a place called Space View Park, which is in Titusville, which gets, hundreds of thousands of people piled in there, which is another reason I'm kind of hesitant to go, because as you know, I'm somewhat of a introvert, and the idea of standing around with hundreds of thousands of people for hours on end, because really, if you want to get a good spot in any of these public places, you have to get there. This launches at, I think, 11:30 in the morning, so you kind of have to set up your spot probably at least, at the latest, midnight the night before. So you're going to be there a good 12 hours holding your spot, and that does not appeal to me too much. Whoa! That's pretty awesome. That's like a really big river-type waterfall situation. Cool. Wolfie's taking a dip. Woof, I know. Madness. What are there, like 3 or 4 source blocks up there? That's kind of cool. Oh. Neat. Whee! Woof, I'm crazy. This water is freezing. Brrr. What was I saying? Oh yes, my social anxiety and hanging around with thousands of people waiting for a space shuttle launch. And of course, as happened to me twice in the past, you could wait there for 12 hours only to have it scrubbed at the very end. And July is a very iffy time for weather in Florida. Pretty much every day is scattered thunderstorms, and they can't launch the space shuttle if there's any lightning or rain even in the area, not necessarily at the launch pad. But so yes, still debating it. There's that. There's the fact that I'm going by myself, even though I know there's a lot of people from Twitter going down there, and even a lot of them have been trying to convince me to go. But you kind of still have to think. I don't know these people, I'm sure they're all friendly and good, and I converse with them on Twitter, but just the way I am when I meet them in person, I'm like, hello, let's just be sheepish, basically, is how I am. And that kind of sort of happened, because I mentioned I went there last October for STS-133, and in getting there, I mostly spent time alone exploring the visitor center at Kennedy Space Center, which is fine. I enjoyed myself, but a lot of times I really wasn't able to meet up with people, just because I guess a lot of them already know each other from previous launches and things, and I really wasn't kept in the loop. I did get to meet up with some, and then I went to a party at was renting a house down there, which was even more of an awkward situation for me. I don't know if I'm the only one. I'm sure a lot of you certainly let me know in the comments. I'm not the only one who isn't the biggest fan of going to a house party where there's a bunch of people standing around in a house you are unfamiliar with, drinking and talking about things. So I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, and I don't know if any of my Twitter followers who are my Space Tweep Twitter followers follow this, but it's just kind of my own weird personal weirdness. So I'm still thinking about it. At the time, it's, oh yes, it'll be fun. I'll meet up with a bunch of people and we'll have a bunch of fun and we'll be friends forever. But when I get there, I kind of freeze like a deer in headlights. That is the way my brain works. But yeah, that happened the last time I went, and it wasn't that. I had a good time, but being as I got there and found out that I wouldn't be seeing a space shuttle launch was depressing on its own, and then not really finding that many people to hang out with. Even though the people I did hang out with, don't worry, you guys were all fine. So yes, still deciding. Also, because I think you might be. Yeah, you're. Oh, well, now you're stuffed. Oh, shoot, I never grabbed any trees. I have enough for a bed, but let me quickly chop down this tree. If I can do so without getting killed by a creeper. Plunk, 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 plunk. I think that's all I can get, yes. Okay. Let us make a hidey hole. This is the first night, right? Yes, 10 minutes. Sit. Good dog. Sit, boo-boo, sit. Woof. Good dog. What was that from? Trivia of the day. An old TV show, I'm sure. What the heck was that from? I don't remember. Let me know in the comments. I need dirt. Oh, shoot. So yeah, still deciding about the NASA thing. There's also just announced they're going to do other Twitter events, tweet-ups, if you will. One on the, what was it, July 16th or something, but this time in Houston at the Johnson Space Center, where they're going to take, and they're only taking 30 people, so my chances are even lower, from 150 people to 30 people in this one. They're going to give them a behind-the-scenes tour. This is going to be while the space shuttle mission is going to be happening, of the Mission Control Center, and then also take them around and possibly let them try the Space Shuttle Simulator, which is where the astronauts train to take off and maneuver and land the space shuttle. And wouldn't that be awesome? Because I did the Orbiter video game and totally failed at that. If I could then get some footage of me flying the actual Space Shuttle Simulator, that would be excellent. So I signed up for that, and supposedly they're going to let us know by July 5th who got into that. And if I get into that, I'm definitely not going to go to Florida just because I can't afford to be jet-setting across the United States, what with me being unemployed and whatnot. So, and that, you know, that would be a healthy consolation prize for not seeing the space shuttle launch. Even though I know space shuttle launches are pretty much, you know, once-in-a-lifetime experiences and whatnot, but... Whoa, Nelly. Careful, my friend. Oh, jeez. That's kind of neat. Hoop. As he falls. Oh, he does pretty good at avoiding cliff edges. But yes, there's that. And then there's also, in October or September, a Twitter... Oh. Swiss cheesy. A tweet up back at Florida for the launch of the Juno spacecraft, which is a robotic mission going to Jupiter. And that's a 2-day event. And I also signed up for that. And I'm kind of wondering in the back of my head, since it's a 2-day event, even though it's focused around watching the Juno spacecraft launch, there's another wolf. Gosh, I get distracted so easily. I probably shouldn't be standing on the beach made of gravel if I'm trying to test if it's going to collapse underneath me. I don't know, might not be a good idea, who knows. Hello, Wolfie, where are you? Come say hello to your cousin. His name is... Oh, they just kissed. That was awkward. I'm going to get going. Let's not get too friendly, we don't need any puppies. Oh, Lord. Oh. It's kind of weird that there's a flow here, but... And Wolfie! Oh god! Get out of there, Wolfie! Okay. Just went down. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the Juno one. I'm kind of curious, since they're holding it at Kennedy Space Center. I'm suspicious of, sure, it's about the Juno, and they're going to talk about the mission to Mars that I mentioned before, the Mars Science Laboratory and other things. It also happens to be where they're keeping the space shuttles. I would be very curious to know if maybe they have planned kind of a little bit of a tour of maybe the VAB and perhaps the shuttle processing facility where they're holding the shuttles and where they're preparing them to go into museums. That would be pretty epic, but of course I'm just speculating. They haven't actually said that, but I've signed up for that one as well. Of course, it's all the same. It's random, and it's A lot of people apply to these things, so who knows if I'll be able to get into them, but I would really like to do the one in Houston. That would be pretty awesome, but the chances are even slimmer for that one as they're only choosing, I think, 30 people instead of the 150 they chose for the launch, which I didn't even get into, obviously, so that's where that stands. NASA fans, I'm a poet, and I knew it. What else? What time is it? Noon. Oh my god. How long have I been walking the wrong way? Really? For bugger's sake. Save me Jeebus. Oh man. Somebody actually commented that maybe the far lands, if you were to walk in one direction, are of certain points away from the center, but that changes if you were to walk in multiple directions. It just has to do with the number of chunks that were generated, and then once those number of chunks were generated, that's when, you know, weird things start to happen where they get whatever float point integers, whatever's involved with the far lands, and they get overwritten and whatnot. So my little lapses in judgment where I keep walking in the wrong direction like an idiot, like a noob, like a little noodle, perhaps those aren't impacting the far lands, reaching the far lands too much. So hopefully not. But I have got to start paying better attention to what the hell I'm doing. Wolfie! That is the reason I didn't pick up that other wolf, because one is annoying enough. Anyway. Ah, lordy. What was I going to say now? I was talking about the NASA stuff. I think I finished talking about that, didn't I? Yes. Let me answer a question here. Somebody asked, this was actually a while ago, if I believed in extraterrestrial intelligence. And that is a very big question, my friend. I guess I'll go back. What you might be asking is, Wolfie, you might be asking if I believe in UFOs, if we have been visited by little green men, nanu nanu. I do not believe that UFOs has visited us, for a lot of reasons, and most of which is because there's no scientific physical evidence. It's just people who have said they've seen them, or they said they've been abducted, and we just have to take their word for it. And it's usually not the best idea to take people's words for things. Also, ooh, spooky. Also, yeah, there's no evidence, whatnot. Also, even to the closest star, it's just so much time would pass for any sort of intelligence to pass that it would just be not feasible. If anything, they would send robots first. And I know there was an X-Files episode where the robots were kind of attached to cockroaches or something like that, and they used the cockroaches to kind of investigate us. I mean, just if you think about it, just like we're sending robots like out to Jupiter, Juno, and, you know, the Mars rovers and things like that. We're not sending our people first. That would just be crazy. So that's why I don't believe it. The UFO things is just people mistaking things in the sky. That's why it's called a UFO, because it's unidentified. And then they suddenly, out of their brains, oh, since I can't identify it, it must be aliens. Blah. So, you know, just like if you can't identify a person at a distance, you're going to assume that they're a vampire or something. You know, that just doesn't make any sense. But it's just something the human brain does. It invents things, so it makes, to put yourself at ease, so you feel like you have some sort of knowledge about the world. But so yeah, no, I don't believe in extraterrestrial intelligence has visited us, and I don't know that that would ever happen. There just hasn't been enough time in our understanding of the history of the universe for a species to evolve that quick. But then again, who knows? There certainly can be other intelligent life out there. I certainly believe that. There's plenty of space in the universe, and life is very very resilient, obviously, on our planet, having gone through so many cataclysms and whatnot, and look at where we've come, and just in terms of us humans, how far we've come in what little speck of time we've existed on this planet. Even in the last 100 years, we've, the Wright brothers invented the aeroplane, the powered flight, and in 100 years we have a space shuttle, and we've landed on the moon. So, that's kind of the progression we're going at, but it's, there's, all these different theories, and, the Drake equation and the Fermi equation or something like that try to calculate how many other habitable planets with life there could be in the universe, and then on a scale of the galaxy you can calculate, okay, there's this many stars in our local area of the galaxy that have planets, okay, this percentage of them could be habitable, okay, then extrapolate that to include all of our Milky Way galaxy, and then further that, multiply that by the amount of other galaxies there are in the universe, and you get some mind-boggling number of possible life-bearing planets out there. So I believe there has to be other planets or moons or anything with life on them, but scientifically we can't say it because we don't have any evidence. There's no evidence, so without evidence you can't scientifically say that there is. So as we know it, Earth is the only place. Yeah, it would certainly be unique if we find that there was past life on Mars, certainly on the moons around Saturn or Jupiter, because then that would mean if there's 2 instances of life within our own solar system, then the universe must be teeming with it, because it must be very likely for life to form. But that is my official stance on artificial intelligence, aliens, little phasers and anal probes. Funny. Anyway, sunset. Okay, hidey hole right here. Wolfie, you will guard the top, the watchtower. Another thing I wanted to do, starting with this episode, is you'll know while I do have quite a few subscribers, I also subscribe to quite a few other YouTubers. It's a really nice community, so I certainly enjoy watching other people's videos and getting inspired by them as much as I enjoy making my own. And obviously, all along, I've been giving little shout-outs to some of my favorites every now and again, but I wanted to make it more organized now, just so I don't keep giving shout-outs to the same people, and I'm basically just going to start picking random people from my subscriptions that I subscribe to. I subscribe to over 150, I think, and maybe just do a feature before I close an episode every day, just because I feel like I have this many subscribers. Maybe I can... Whoa, geez. Whoop. I'm disoriented. There we go. So I can kind of help some other YouTubers out. So for my first YouTube feature of the day... Oh, it's very appropriate. There's piano playing in the background. I recently just found this person. Her YouTube username is Lara6683. So Lara6683. Not sand. You're not going to sleep on a bed of sand. She basically plays the piano, piano music in the background, can you hear that? And also the violin, but she does a lot of videos where she's playing very old and popular video game music and themes, and I think she's really good at it, and it's really excellent. I first found her through the official Tomb Raider blog. She did a video of the Tomb Raider theme on violin while she was wearing, and get this, while she was wearing the Lara Croft costume. So that, you can see, was very relevant to many of my interests. And then from there, she has all these Mario Brothers and Final Fantasy and Zelda themes she does. So certainly go check out and subscribe to Lara6683. Apparently her name is actually Lara too, so Lara Croft. So yes, I very much enjoy her videos. So go check that out, and if you subscribe, you can let her know that I sent you. That would be much appreciated. Yeah, so that's a really cool video game-centric little channel for you guys to check out. But anyway, I'm going to have to time that better, so I'm not just standing around in an empty bedroom giving these shout-outs. But anyway, signing off, please go to, across the screen, farlandsorbust.com, where you can check on our fundraiser for Child's Play charity. We're trying to raise $8,200 for Child's Play charity. We're about 40% of the way there. You can go there, check our status. You can contribute yourself and lead to that, and then at the end I will have a reward where I'll do a very long live stream and other fun, crazy things. So please check that out. I appreciate it. I also appreciate all the comments and likes and subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And at that, my name is Kurt. That was Wolfie barking outside, and I will see you next time. What was that? Oh, go back to sleep.